upper body, split part 2. Starts out with seated rows. We did our warm-up set, 110 pounds. Then we added 10 pounds over our working weight to go to 160 for 3 sets of 10. Got those things smashed out. Now I've got to get switched over and set up to do T-bar rows. Monstrous. Between seated rows, going to T-bar rows, the pump in my upper lats, it's crazy feeling. Makes your back feel like you're 10 times wider than you really are. So, 3 sets of 12 there, 90 pounds on it. Next we've got face pulls. moved up 10 pounds, incline bench. But man, my chest is still so sore from day before yesterday. Jesus. And I think I might have kind of strained the tendons that attach the pecs into the upper arm here. Because it is a little tender right in here as I'm pressing. So I'm assuming I just kind of strained that on the flat bench, which I thought I kind of did, but I wasn't quite sure because I made that big 100-pound jump from my second warm-up set to my working set. Big mistake. Don't make 100-pound jumps. So, it's a little tender. Doesn't hurt though. It's just not quite pain, but it feels irritated in a way, if that makes sense. Almost like it's bruised. So, it is what it is. We're done with incline bench. So now we're on to across the chest press. It's nice. It's not a huge, heavy, super heavy load. It's just a lot of volume and pushes a lot of blood into the pec. So we'll see how the tendon reacts to that. Alrighty guys, so we've done knocked out our chest press. We knocked out our dumbbell preacher curls. Those starting to feel pretty good at 15 pounds, so I think it's going to be time to make the jump to 20s. I'm going to have to order a set of those little dumbbell micro plates that just snap around the handle to add 2.5 pounds. And maybe we'll just go 17.5 and then 20. And then I could go to my 25s and we'll just do 2.5 pound jumps in the dumbbells. That'd probably be a better solution. But now we're on to rope curls. We've been doing them at 40. I'm going to go ahead and jump up to 50 today. So let's go ahead and get these things rocking. Alrighty, y'all. So we got our rope curls banged out. Brutal pump on that. Then went into our overhead tricep extensions using the little 90-degree bar. And boy, oh boy, a few sets of those after doing the incline bench. My triceps adequately feel very pumped up. Arms at the moment feel massive. Whether or not they are, that's a different story. But they're feeling pretty good. And they're definitely getting bigger. So we are making progress. So I guess bringing the volume down on the arms to just, a total of 9 sets for the week for biceps, 6 sets for triceps, making a difference in the way they're looking. That is for sure. Also, cool news, weighed in this morning, 201 3/4. So, I'm officially now the lightest I've been since I started recording this and making this transformation. So, 3 days into dieting. First day, we weighed in 202.5. Second day, 202.5. Today, 201 3/4. So, we can't complain about that. Progress is progress. But, now we got to go ahead and move into dips. Be the last thing to do today, then we get out of here. My underparts hurt. I tell you what, you might be starting to feel strong, but you can humble yourself real fast if you decide to do some dips. So, I guess that's a good point to talk about. As as you start getting stronger and stronger, leaner and leaner, you've been putting in a lot of work to reach that. And, it's okay to gain a little bit of ego the better you look. But don't be a cocksucker about it. If you're at the gym and someone's, chubby, overweight, out of shape, whatever, as you've put in all the work to look better, you may not have gotten it, but in passing, tell that person they're doing good. Be humble about the place you've gotten to, and don't look down at others that are starting at the same place you once were. So, you got to be able to uplift the people that are trying to make the same changes you have. Now, I'm not saying you got to go and hold their hand and, give them training advice and all that. Just give them the gratification and knowing you notice the fact of putting in the work. So, because that'll keep a lot of people going and a lot more people will get a lot healthier. Especially if they run into a point where they've kind of plateaued and they don't know why. And you're just telling them they're doing a good job just by showing up. That'll keep them motivated and they might research why they're not making any more progress, or just, they might be making progress, but they're looking at the scale and they're just putting on muscle at the same rate they're kind of burning fat because they're not training and eating per se specifically to accelerate one goal or the other. So it gets a little disheartening when you're looking at the scale and it stays the same. But if you looked at yourself 1 week later from 1 week then, and you worked out and you dieted, the scale might still say you're the same weight, but I bet you can measure yourself and you probably lost some size because you're down in body fat and you just gained a little bit of muscle at the same time. And it's going to come in phases too. Sometimes you're going to drop a bunch of fat, and then other times you're going to lose no fat, but you might put on a bunch of muscle over a period of time, eating exactly the same way, and then all of a sudden you'll just shed another 5 pounds body fat off your body. And it's because your body's trying to retain that weight, and you ended up replacing it with muscle. So it's kind of weird how the body works in that way. But don't look down on others for the places you already started from. Be humble about the gains you've made and support others as you go along. And that kind of applies to everything. So think about that. Comment down below if you agree or disagree and why. But with that, make sure you guys are out there working toward your goals. And most of all, just don't be a lazy fuck.